things about throwing from the end, in my opinion, avoid it. Shooters that I think could be an advantage for. I am a short person and do not have a large reach with my arm. So for me, shooting from the end, that's the most disadvantaged spot to shoot from. But I will say that the best shooters I've ever seen in casinos from the end of the table were tall people that had a good reach, and when they released the dice, they were probably at about stick 1 or 2 when the hand let go of the die. So that's an advantage right there. I personally will avoid throwing from the end of the table at all costs, but if I have to. So here's what I'll do. I'll do like 18 tosses, and I'll use a hardway set. That's the hardway set I'll use. And the first thing we'll talk about. So let's assume that 2 bricks of dice are your legs, and those are your hips. And you can see, I think, pretty much from that pass line that we're at the back of the table. So the back wall is here. So everything, legs and hips, are square at this moment to the back wall. If you are a golfer and you understand, being square to the ball and that sort of thing, this will be will make more sense to you. Okay, whenever you're throwing, whether it's from the back wall or stick right or left, the idea is to with your hips pointed towards your target, your hand, be it your dominant hand, let's say your dominant hand, will be easier to go in a straight line to a target. And let's assume that the target is in the middle of the table. Okay, let's assume we're throwing from just about the middle of the back wall. Now, keep in mind, my table is my practice rig, I should say, is only 10 feet long. So this is a short table, but the concept was going to be the same. All right, so there's 2 ways of doing this. And I really want to recommend that you look at Dice Control for Casino Craps, Gambling Disciples of God by Yuri. So he had 2 ways of approaching it, and in that book that I just mentioned, and if George does this right, you'll see both sides of my video. So it would be hips facing the target, both like this, or turning sideways and facing the target that way. I think which one you choose depends on you and what you are comfortable with. I personally do it just kind of like that. I like a slightly open stance, if you will, and I get if this was the foot, the feet were like facing this way, I get this one and I kind of rest it on a toe, if you will, and that one is stable, and the hips are kind of going like that, and that would be my dice going on the toe. Hopefully that helps to understand what I'm about to do. Okay, the grip really is going to depend on what you're the most comfortable with. If you are a traditional, I want to say, 5 finger, 3 or two finger person, you want to really have worked on a tabletop release, because there's no way you can do, well, you can, but it's not as easy to do a pendulum swing from here. So you're going to be in, the dice are going to be, you're going to get them positioned, and then you're going to get them on, you want an angle, and I think the Uri angle, however you do that, is up to you. So basically you want to, I from here, like a three finger, like this, resting the ends of my fingers right on the surface of the table, so that I can feel like I've got the, I'm in correlation with the surface of the table and the angle of the walls. So at the angle of the walls, you want like this. That makes sense? With your dice, because you want them to go down the table in correlation. You want them to land as flat as possible and come up. Land flat, come up, land flat, come up. That's what you want. And the target zone should be, according to Uri in his book, I believe it was 8, somewhere, I think the average was about 8 inches. So it's going to be just past the pass line on most tables. The apron on most tables is going to be somewhere between 10 and 12 inches from the pass line. So again, you want the dice. Let me get my little pointer stick right here. You want your hand, your grip, to have the dice in a nice parallel like that, pointing nice and straight down the table. And the set that you use is going to depend on your own practice at this position and what your dice are telling you that they will give you. Always, you want that those two dice to feel like a brick of dice. Your knees want to be bent. That's an athletic position. I think no matter where you are, stick right, stick left, end of table, knees bent, comfortable. So in terms of target and such, I'm using the line that separates the field from the come box. Make sure your elbow is not locked. You want to get your hand and your body and everything positioned so that you're feeling them going in correlation straight down the table to your target zone. Alright, there's a 4-2-6. Okay, could have used that one toss before. Back down that 6 again. Oh, too much bounce. Got lucky. There's an 8. Hard 4 down the table to your target zone. There's a 3, 2, 1. 10. Another 10 for 6. Looks like a 9. What do we got here? Oh, bad. 7 out. What do we got? Another 7. No, it's a come out though. Okay. And they're just more comfortable from that spot, you know? Here's a hard 4. So we're looking for a 4. Yeah, there it is. 3-1. There's a 10, hard. What will happen? There's a 6 for 2. Oh, what do we got here? 4, 2. Alright, another 6. Okay, come on now. Looking for that 10. Hard 10. Hard 10. Almost. 6, 4, 10. I'll take it. What is that? Maybe a 5? 4, 1, 5. Okay. And so there you have it. Shooting from the end. I will just end this by saying, hey, thank you, George, for asking me to put this little demo together for you. And I will say that, I avoid throwing everything on the table. It is, for me, it's the least favorable spot to throw from. But hey, I'll do it. But it's the only spot to throw from, and I really want to throw. And I hope that helps. The video that I did for this helps. And take care. Remember, luck's got very little to do with it, y'all.